Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, and today I will be your judge, jury, and your analyst. And so, I know you guys absolutely hate Open Ultra League. I know a majority of you rather play Ultra Premier. However, with the Ultra League Remix only having Open Ultra League available along with it, I thought it'd be a lot better if you watching this video, I implore you to look through it or watch Open Ultra League content, just because, like I said, when the Ultra League Remix rolls around, I think only Open Ultra League is available. In fact, let me double check, but I am pretty sure Ultra League Remix will only have the other one on. Anyways, this is the Open Ultra League analysis. As you see here, we're going to be analyzing Open Ultra League. So, Open Ultra League means legendaries and mythicals, which majority are banned in Ultra League Remix. So, like I mentioned, okay, so it is a fact. So, from July 26th to August 9th, only Ultra League and Ultra League Remix will be available. So, only Open Ultra League. So, again, even if you don't like it, if you want to climb or want to do all your battles as much as you can, I implore you to listen to this video. It's like Ray Zero. If you ever watch that anime, poor dude, the main character dies over and over again, and he comes back to life. Well, that's pretty much going to be us in Go Battle League, or for Ultra League, or for those of you that abandon Open Ultra League, you're coming back to life in it if you want to climb in it. Anyways, as I always say, if you want to consider, please consider contributing to pboke.com. Open Ultra League is the league I primarily play in, just because Ultra League is a little easier to analyze, and I don't have to make many adjustments compared to Ultra Premier, because Ultra Premier is just absolute chaos. Ultra Premier is Ultra Premier is more like XL Ultra League, right? And Open Ultra is just Open Ultra. So, again, we'll be analyzing Open Ultra League, and I do definitely recommend you take a look at this and not just skip through the video. I'm gonna go through the Open Ultra League, and since I play in it a lot, I can tell you exactly what works, what might not work, and just how to be a beast in Open Ultra League. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so overall, as you see here, the Open Ultra League, if you've looked at it before, actually a couple of months ago, it's relatively the same meta. Relatively, anyways. As you see here, Registeel getting buffed again. As you see, Focus Blast is now back to its original value. Because of that, Registeel went up a little bit, and you might see a little more Registeel XLs if you plan on playing Open Ultra League, just because they're out in raids right now. So, I think probably a bunch of people are going out trying to get Registeel XLs because it is overall the #1 Pokemon in Open Ultra League, as well as a closer. At one point for Season 1 and Season 2, before Registeel got nerfed, it was #1, and now it's back to being #1 just because of XLs coming out and because Focus Blast did get its original value back. That might not seem to matter much, however, with the Focus Blast being back, it hits Swampert, Excavalier, things that don't resist it at more damage. So overall, that can add up. Even if it's one attack Focus Blast, it's extremely hard. And if you get hit by a regular one, as you see here, you have stronger. The ratings definitely got better from what you were really gonna lose against with Registeel versus what it is now. So Registeel is still really good. Cresselia is obviously the queen of Open Ultra League, has been a viable safe switch for the longest time. In Season 2, it was extremely overpowered just because Moonblast was at a higher % of debuff rate. So it was really, really powerful, really, really strong. Still really good. Galarian Stunfisk XL, many of you probably already have one. It's also very good in this league. Outside of getting destroyed by fighters as well as the water archetype, as you see here, it does very well against a wide combination of things that are weak to Rock Slide as well as Earthquake. Obama Snow XL still takes prominence. As you see here, Obama Snow XL, if you had one for Christmas, that's where I built mine. It's still really, really good and will serve you very well in this meta. Giratina Altered, still very, very good. Very, very beastly, as you see here. Was primarily one of the strongest legendaries and still is one of the strongest legendaries for Open Ultra League. So if you used it before, it still works pretty well now, especially if you're used to using it like I am. I don't use it nowadays, but I used to use it a lot before. Lapras Gear Core was my jam back in Season 1, Season 2. and I slowly abandoned that just to try new things. Things like Reggie Rock, Steelix, and Politoed XLs, these things are still very, very powerful. Although the Ninetales XL is also very powerful in this cup for its sheer ability to literally beat the Crest and Gira. The only thing giving it a hard time is, of course, Melmetal and Registeel. But the Ninetales A9 XL is actually really dang good in this cup and beats a lot of things outside the Steel archetype. So, might want to look out for that. So, a lot of things you use from before. There are really a lot of changes, but Registeel XL is more powerful in this cup, and we'll just see how the new poison buff, etc. really affected the entire meta. I don't foresee it affecting this meta too much, but we'll see what happens in the rest of the analysis. Alright, so here we go with the leads. As you see here, Talonflame XL is still the most powerful lead. Its ability to break shields, so if you do have one built, it's really freaking good, and you'll be able to use it for Open Ultra League now if you plan on playing it. But as you see here, Talonflame, I use it a lot. Its ability, like I said, its ability to break shields and just rev up. If you get a positive match with Talonflame and it revs up with Flame Charge, it can probably wipe out your opponent's entire team. Extremely strong against Cresselia, possibly can wall Cresselia's charge moves if it doesn't have Future Sight. And it does really well against everything but water and anything that drops rocks on its head, like Arm V2 or Melmetal. Also, Gengar can give it a hard time just because of its ability to pressure it with Shadow Punch. However, you can bully your way through the 2-shield against Gengar, so it's not too bad. Other than that, only minor differences, as you see here, is probably Registeel going back up the food chain a little bit. Registeel does have a higher rating now, especially with Focus Blast up, but it has to be an XL. So, Registeel's ability to basically do a ton of damage, it's also with Focus Blast being regular value, it's able to beat Melmetal in the 1-shield now. Where against Melmetal, you can just go straight Focus Blast and blast Melmetal to death in the 1-shield. So if you're down to the 1s and you plan on summoning the Spirit Bomb to take out the hunk of junk Lugnut, which is Melmetal, then you may do so. Other than that, as you see here, everything is pretty much the same. Nidoqueen XL does kind of take a little bit of precedence. In fact, it can actually beat Giratina Altered in the 1-shield as long as you're able to debuff it down and hit it with an Earth Power. The problem with Nidoqueen XL as a Shadow is Cresselia. Cresselia and Swampert are going to be your worst nightmares. Along with that, the Flying Archetype in Articuno and Gyarados will give you a very, very hard time. I don't recommend using Shadow Nidoqueen. It can be, the keyword is can. It's very unique because it's able to beat Melmetal because of the fact that you do pretty much resist everything that Melmetal has to throw at you. So if you do see it, I'm not saying it's bad, it could possibly be good, but I wouldn't bank on it that your Nidoqueen XL is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. As you see, best used in the lead. Hopefully you do catch a positive matchup with it, you could debuff with it, etc. But keep in mind, it's not exactly the best thing in the world to use, especially with the popularity of Swampert and it can still lose to Cresselia in the 1-shield just because of the fact that Cresselia has Grass Knot, or if it has, even if worse, if you get hit by a Future Sight, it will possibly OKO you. Actually, I think it will OKO you. Scrafty XL and other things are very powerful in this meta as well. Legendaries are still really, really good. Your lead from before, whether it be Abomasnow or Talonflame, should be just as good from before. In other words, not too much of the changes as far as the leads, even with the poison debuff, which is actually pretty good. As far as safe switches goes, as you see here, Galarian Stunfisk XL is the most powerful safe switch in Open Ultra League. If you do have the pancake is mighty. My favorite pancakes are from IHOP. However, if you go to your local diner, they might have those really good varieties that you aren't looking for. No, seriously, some diners have like the best pancakes, like literally the best pancakes, like regular diners, like not like Waffle House, IHOP, Denny's. They are pretty dang good, but not as good as a diner. Anyways, before I keep talking about food, as you see, your Galarian Stunfisk is an incredibly powerful safe switch. Outside, if you see Swampert in the lead and you have G-Fisk as your safe switch, or if you just keep it away from Swampert, I would say that's probably your biggest threat. You can still threaten Giratina Altered pretty hard just because you could Earthquake it, so you won't convincingly have a strong matchup against Gira Altered, but you'll pressure it very heavily. As you see here, G-Fizz does extremely well against a lot of different meta in the Open Ultra League, as it's able to beat Melm. It's pretty much like Nidoqueen. If you look at what it beats and what they don't beat, they're pretty dang similar. The only difference is Galarian Stunfisk is much more powerful, especially because of its ability to generate fast. It's able to it's able to pressure a lot better than Nidoqueen does, and it's like the grade A most powerful freaking mon in all of Ultra League, in my opinion, overall. As you see here, Cresselia is still powerful safe switch, literally just being a little bit below Galarian Stunfisk, but if you use Crest safe switch, it's still really, really strong. A lot of people use the ability to like lock out Cresselia or target Cresselia, so in other words, sometimes trainers will have Registeel or Melmetal in the back just to catch the Cresselia safe switch, so some strategies like that will happen. Just be aware that with Registeel having Focus Blast back, you might see a lot more, and because Registeel is back in raids. Other than that, Politoed is also a really good save switch. Giratina Altered still a good save switch. This hasn't changed too much. If I would have to give like a word of warning, it would probably be Registeel. Registeel might be out there a little more, and Politoed, because Poliwag does nest, so you might be careful of that one. As you see, the Poison Archetype doesn't really, as far as getting a boost, doesn't really affect it too much. It doesn't affect the whole, like, the meta way too much, as you see here. Like, yeah, they're good save switches, but Drapion, etc. Swampert is so popular in Open Ultra League that Poison buffed is kind of bad if you plan on using it. But yes, you can put your Poison type with 2 things in the back that counter Swampert. However, in a lot of different combinations, there's a lot of things that will bully you in Open Ultra League. So, I would just be careful. But those are your save switches. If you use the save switch from before that you really liked, it should be just as good as it is now, because there hasn't been really any minor changes at all. The thing I would just be aware of is the presence of, again, Registeel. That's it. Just Registeels. And last but not least, we have the closer scenario, with Registeel XL being the most powerful closer, just like last time. Hasn't changed a bit at all. Registeel. And the thing that's worse is that Registeel being, like, Regice and Regirock kind of got ruled out of the food chain now that Registeel XL is a lot more popular. It can straight flash cannon you to death, so Registeel XL is going to be mad annoying. You can use Talonflame to give Registeel a hard time, but because Registeel still hits you really, really hard. So keep in mind, Registeel can still challenge Talonflame in certain scenarios, but like, again, like, Registeel doesn't do super good. Ironically, because of the way things ruled out, with the Dragon Tail buff, Steelix is actually a lot more powerful. Steelix can take out Giratina and Cresselia and even Melmetal because of Earthquake in the zeros. So, you can Earthquake through shields, you can take out a Melmetal, which makes it really interesting. The only problem, you get punched to death, as you see here. You get Swampert waters you down, and Togekiss will smile like it always does. Does Togekiss ever frown? I don't think it does. I think it just gets pissed off when you fire charge moves, but other than that, I think Togekiss will actually still beat you, which is actually pretty sad. But that's only because it effectively walls you. It will resist Dragon Tail, Crunch, and Earthquake. But Registeel XL, if you want to have a little fun, it's actually pretty interesting as a closer. Of course, that doesn't mean you won't get destroyed by things like Registeel, etc. just because you have Earthquake. Because Registeel does have Focus Blast. Focus Blast will do heavy damage against Steelix. So, again, it just really depends. If you want to use, I would recommend Talonflame over Ho-Oh, even though Ho-Oh has a much higher rating. Ho-Oh, the only reason it makes a difference is because of Earthquake. Earthquake just covers a lot more things in the meta, like Muck, etc. But Brave Bird will still KO in most scenarios, so you don't really need Ho-Oh. I mean, if you want to use it, you can use it, but again, you don't need it much. Other than that, as you see here, it's the XL, the closing scenario, other than Steel being buffed. Yeah, well, not Steel, Registeel getting back its original value. Steelix going up because of Dragon Tail, and the Galarian Stunfisk just being the damn annoying pancake it is. Closers are relatively the same. And it hasn't really changed much it actually hasn't changed much at all. As you see, the poison types don't really do well in the closer outside of Alolan Muck, just because Alolan Muck's nuking capability with Gunk Shot and Dark Pulse. Outside of that, like I said, the poison archetype really falls down. If you want me to get too more technical into it, as you see here, they go down to 80 and 90. Basically, most of them will either die to Swampert, Hydro Cannon you to death, Earthquakes out of nowhere, and Giratina, of course, Giratina Altered, because Giratina Altered does resist poison. Even if you do debuff it to death, without shields, Giratina Altered will go to town against you because it is a ghost type. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Open Ultra League, if I had to put it in a nutshell, hasn't changed much at all. If you were hoping for the poison buff to make an impact, that's more so for Ultra Premier than it is for Open Ultra. You will still see the more annoying things out there, especially things getting more popular like Registeel, because it's out in raids right now, and I'm pretty sure people are shelling out $90 to $100 just to grab an XL1. Because, you know, in order to get the XL candy, you need to either transfer and get one, or you need to catch it. So, there are times where I haven't caught a Registeel, and it ran. Yeah, it would run, just because, you know, Registeel. It's freaking Registeel. But Registeel is going to be very powerful. With Focus Blast being back at its regular value, Focus Blast will have a higher kill range. Which means Registeel, that's why its value went up back to number 1. It's very, very strong. Nowadays, well, it was back to number 1, but the ranges are higher now. 10 points of damage doesn't seem like a big difference, but it actually is, especially in like 1 HP in a dream scenarios. Again, I dabble a lot in Open Ultra. It's just I don't have to change teams much. It's a lot easier of a meta to go like to read, but it's also like, in my opinion, Ultra Premier is easier to climb in versus Open Ultra League. Because Open Ultra League, it's more feasible for the meta in Open Ultra to lock you in versus the other way around. In Ultra Premier, it's very dynamic. There's a lot of combinations out there that cause a lot of neutral matchups. That's not the case in Open Ultra League. A Melmetal will kill your Talonflame 9 times out of 10 if you don't have energy advantage. So, just keep that in mind. Legendaries, especially in Ultra and Master League, are very, very annoying, which is why Ultra Premier is created in the first place. But now Ultra Premier is pretty much XL land, so basically I like using the phrase pick your poison. Do you like Legendaries or do you like XLs? Because you'll still see XLs in Open Ultra League, but I would say you still see Cresselia a lot more, or Giratina. But again, if you don't want to play Ultra League Remix, Open Ultra League is available along with it. And it's not too hard to divulge. I will put a top teams video out there for you to check out. And I'm definitely going to be playing it because like I said, I play Open Ultra rather more than Ultra Premier. So if you have questions, just put in the comments and I can tell you what I've seen. I actually climbed to Legend in Season 7 in Open Ultra League. So more difficult than Ultra Premier in my opinion, but just because of how the meta shapes out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you would like so, please like and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, I do appreciate you. But if you are not, you see that little box at the bottom right? By the time I'm done trying to convince you that may you please subscribe, all you have to do is put your mouse below that little box. And if you put your mouse above it, it will easily pop up the subscribe box. If you click on it, you will easily subscribe. It's totally free, helps me out for my end sub goal numbers, and I really do appreciate the support. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying Season 8 Go Battle League today. I hope you guys are doing well. There's a lot of time to climb, a lot of time, and a lot of opportunities for you to make Legend if you haven't already. Or if you already made Legend, you can take a break. I'm actually considering taking a break myself, but I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna make Legend, honestly, and then just like not play GBL for the rest of the season. But it's up to you. I will still be making analysis videos, etc., because that's what I'm good at, and I got a resume on it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys are doing well in your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video. Ciao!